Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgie Man and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Mashle, Magic and Muscle Season 2, Episode 9. So, why did I think about this week's episode? To be honest, I thought this week's episode was fantastic because it was very action-packed, as well as we get to see a lot of backstory of Wahlberg, the headmaster, as well as Innocent Zero, and, their teacher as a whole, and I thought that was very fascinating, as well as it elaborated once again, in the relationship and just how close they were with their sensei. And we also get to see a little bit of comedic, nonsense between Mash and his opponent. So that was great. Now, before I go any further with this week's episode, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my anime and manga, as well as all my martial magic and muscles content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's episode. So this week's episode starts off where we see a little bit of a backstory, describing, Wahlberg and Innocent Zero's master. And they start talking about how this guy literally shaped the foundation of the magic world and pretty much society as a whole, after all the centuries that he lived and whatnot. And we pretty much see that in the last week there was a coffin that Innocent Zero summoned, and I was speculating, it gave me like Orochimaru vibes, where he got the Edo Tensei when he was fighting the third Hokage. And I was pretty right on the money on that, me saying the parallels, because it's exactly what happens here, where Innocent Zero is able to pretty much Edo Tensei slash bring back his master. However, his master is not able to move. He's able to bring back a body, but like it has no psyche, so he can't even move on its own. However, he counters that by having one of his minions, pretty much is like, his name is Marionette or something like that. He's able to puppet the vessel, the corpse, and he uses that to fight Wahlberg. And he says, like, this guy used to be the strongest mage of all time, this guy is insane, you're done. And this guy's fighting Wahlberg, and as the fight continues, you see that we find out that his master was able to use dark magic. And what we find out is that dark magic is like magic that just makes you, it sucks you into the void. Like, it's just, you can't use a spell to counter it. It's just that powerful. And we see as the fight progresses, Wahlberg's trying, afraid. He's like, what the, okay. Or he looks like kind of like puzzled by it. He's like, no way. And as the fight continues, you see that this guy starts using like more advanced techniques. And eventually Wahlberg's able to counter them, and he's like, huh, how did he do that? And from what we see is that pretty much Wahlberg has a special ability of his where his power literally warps you somewhere else. So he's not, his spell itself is like a perfect counter to the dark magic, because as they connect with each other, he's able to teleport it somewhere else. And that, I thought that was pretty cool, like a very cool ability to counter that. And pretty much as the fight progresses, you see like the Marionette guy, he's like, okay, enough of this. And eventually Wahlberg, he shoots him with a part of his magic, and you see that half of his shoulder is gone or whatever, and it's because of that magic where it warps you somewhere else. And the guy's like, okay, there's no way you can stop, if I throw a big sphere of dark magic, there's nothing you can do. No way you can teleport it somewhere else. So he throws it at Wahlberg, and Wahlberg just powers up. My man just starts going beast mode on him. And you see him pretty much saying all this time I was just using the wand's abilities, I haven't even used my own power yet. And then you see him going try hard, and he's easily able to get rid of this big magical energy. And both Innocent Zero and the Marionette guy are puzzled by it, no way. And then Wahlberg counters by just shooting a huge beam at the guy and just pretty much defeating him, or sending him somewhere else, because we don't know where he went exactly, but he pretty much gets dealt with. So now we're back with Innocent Zero fighting Wahlberg. So I'm very curious to see how that plays out going forward in the future. But continuing from that, we catch up with Mash, and Mash is still dealing with the guy that throws the spikes, the yellow hair guy. And pretty much he's like, so why are you picking up on me? Why are you picking on me, bro? And it was so funny. He's just like, what's your issue? And we pretty much get some lore in pretty much an explanation on why Innocent Zero wants Mash, besides just being his son. And the reason is because we find out that apparently there's an immortal heart ritual of magic or whatever, where you need 6 people of close blood relatives of yours to use to sacrifice, so you can get pretty much an immortal heart. And it sounds like that's what he's trying to aim, and Mash is that final piece that he needs. And well, he's explaining all of this to Mash. Mash is just gasp, shocked, and he's like, what? Wow, that sure is a lot of heavy stuff. You know what? I'm gonna go to sleep. And my man just literally, I don't know where he got the I don't know where he got the pillow and the blanket, but my man just fell asleep in the floor. And the guy's like, "Are you serious, bro? Like, wake up!" And then he's like, "Oh man, so I guess it is real." Like, oh, I thought it was just like a nightmare or something. Oh well. That's just so stupid. I love it. But pretty much what the guy tells Mash is like, "Listen, so like I'm a corpse, like." Because Mash is like, "Are you like one of my brothers or something?" And the guy's like, "Listen, no, I'm not blood related. Your father pretty much gave part of his blood to a corpse, and that's how it came to be. So I'm not like a child of his, but you know, you should be honored that you're a child of his, like yada yada yada." And pretty much what happens is he eventually says, "Okay, so let's fight." And then he's like, "Well, like I guess sure." It's like, "Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll go all out then. I'll stop playing around." And you see he reveals a third line. So you're like, whoa. And he eventually like unlocks his like, you know, his true form of the wand. And he starts like attacking Mash. And eventually you see this big black spike that we've seen before. And he's like, "Okay, here's the plan. If you don't defeat me, I will use this spike and I will kill everybody in that stadium. So do whatever you want. But if you want to run away, go ahead. I'll defeat you." And he throws these discs at Mash. And these discs reminded me a lot of like the Destructo disc that Frieza throws from Dragon Ball Z. You know, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. And you see that pretty much they kind of work similar to that, where you know he controls them where they go, and they're always gonna be on target. And Mash is like avoiding them. He's like, "No way!" And then that's where the guy tells him like, "Okay, I'll tell you what. If you can't beat me, I'm gonna shoot the stadium up with my spikes." And Mash is like, "Okay." He starts like, "I'm gonna go charge in on him," but then he's like, "Wait, there's two more in front of me. No, that's a terrible idea. I'm gonna get wrecked." So then Mash is like, "All right, you know what? I'm out of here." And he starts running out. It's like, really? This guy literally ran away? Are you serious? No way. What a coward. Like, he just starts like mad talking Mash like, "I can't believe it. Oh well, I guess I'll just kill that whole stadium then." And out of nowhere, you see Mash like pop out behind him, and it was hilarious. You know, you see him like, the guy's like genuinely scared, like, "Oh no," because he knows what's coming. And early on, he gets punched by Mash too, so that was funny. But overall, we see pretty much that he's like, "Hey, like get up, like let's get this over with." And we see as the guy pretty much, as Mash gets a good grip on the guy, pretty much the guy's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna throw these discs at you, like it don't matter." And by the way, Mash went a whole lap around the whole field just to get behind the guy at a supersonic speed, because the guy was like, "No way, what?" Because it was almost like within seconds, and Mash is insane. But what happens is pretty much as Mash is, you know, having a good grip on him, the guy throws his discs are following him. He's like, "Listen, I'm gonna harden myself to diamond. I won't be able to get cut by my own, like I won't be able to, pretty much, you can't just brute force it out of me. Like you won't be able to just punch me and knock me out. Like it's over. Like I will tank the hit, but you won't. Like you're done." And while all that is happening, then you see like a scenario where Mash gets cut and he's on the floor, and then he's like, "Yeah, that's right, you suck." He's like, starts stomping on Mash, and then you see like Mash get up, and then like he has like a bunch of cream puffs out of nowhere, and he starts shoving them out his mouth, and the guy's like, what is happening?" And as all that is happening, you see Mash is being like, "Cream puff party, cream puff party." And I was like, what's going on? Like, what did Mash just unlock, like a power or something? And in reality, no, it's the guy's hallucinations, because we find out that Mash actually choked the guy out. He maxed out all his strength, because he knew he couldn't like break it. So instead of he gave him a big like choke, like he was choking him out, and he knew that was gonna be able to knock him out, because you know, no air pressure going through the lungs or whatever. And the guy's eventually knocked out, and Mash is like, "Yeah, I guess I beat you." Like, and then that's how the episode ends, where you see the guys foaming and get the feet in the floor. But yeah, overall, this episode was awesome. I can't wait to see what the next one leads on to, because I'm very excited to see the Wahlberg versus Innocent Zero fight, because thus far I've been thoroughly entertained with this entire arc, and I can't wait to see how this fight, you know, goes down at the end. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's episode? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? What do you guys thought? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more martial magic and muscles, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.